There have been a lot of movies about the Angry Red Planet over the years, including Angry Red Planet. So let's look at some you may have missed. Red Faction Origins. Red Faction Origins is a made-for-TV action film from director Michael Nankin. It's based on the video game franchise of the same name. Despite being named Red Faction Origins, the movie is not a prequel. It takes place between Red Faction Guerrilla and Red Faction Armageddon, the third and fourth games in the franchise. It's about Jake Mason, the son of Alec Mason, the hero of 3. It takes place on Mars, and Jake is trying to rescue his kidnapped sister, Lyra. The movie premiered on June 4th, 2011 on the Sci-Fi Channel, launching alongside the release of Red Faction Armageddon. The biggest name in the film was Robert Patrick, who played Alec. While in the promotional materials, they tried to make it look like he was the star. He really was just there to pass off the story to Jake, played by Brian J. Smith. The movie plays a lot into the lore of the games, and as such, it probably will resonate more with fans than it would with the casual movie viewer. It was being touted as a pilot for a potential series. If the movie did well enough ratings-wise, they'd greenlight a TV series. As you guessed, the pilot did not do well, and so Sci-Fi decided not to make it into a series. Red Faction Armageddon the game also underperformed, and it was the last game in the series. That is until the remaster of Red Faction Guerrilla, Remastered, in 2018, where they brought back the Ostrich Hammer.
Watch me. Bang! Ostrich size.
Seriously, all 4 games are a blast. You should give them a shot. The movie is not available for streaming, but it is on video on demand. A heavily edited version is on YouTube. It's not on Blu-ray, but you can pick up the DVD on eBay for like $5. The games go on sale all the time. I've seen each of them as low as like $2 or $3. Totally worth it, especially for Remastered. Red Planet. Red Planet is a 2000 sci-fi action film from director Anthony Hoffman. This is not an adaptation of the Robert Heinlein novel. Red Planet's about a future where the Earth is in the process of terraforming Mars. Something goes wrong on the planet, so a team of scientists are sent out to investigate. What they find isn't good. The film stars Val Kilmer, Carrie-Anne Moss, Tom Sizemore, Benjamin Bratt, and Terrence Stamp. While the plot of the film sounds like it might be something along the lines of Aliens, it's really quite different. Yes, the team do run into something that is trying to kill them, but it's not an alien. I won't spoil it, it's actually pretty neat. Although if you've seen the trailer, they spoil it. Filming took place in the Australian outback, which makes for a pretty good Mars on Earth. They just had to make sure a dingo didn't randomly walk on set. This is the biggest and most expensive film on this list. The movie opened on November 10th, 2000 in 5th place. It had a budget of $80 million and only pulled in about $33.4 million worldwide. I've heard the movie underperformed due to the film Mission to Mars. Mission to Mars opened a few months earlier, and while that one did better financially, it received mostly negative reviews, and audiences in general found it boring. Red Planet, on the other hand, I feel is the opposite of Mission to Mars. It's a fun and exciting film that has a better story and plenty of action. Although Red Planet was also trashed by the critics, but I've always enjoyed it. The movie's available for streaming on Hoopla. Thanks you guys for letting me know what that one was. And it's available video on demand. If you want to watch it on YouTube, you need to rent it. You can buy it physically on DVD and Blu-ray. The Last Days on Mars. The Last Days on Mars is a 2013 sci-fi horror film from director Ruari Robinson. It's based on the 1975 short story The Animators by Sidney James Bounds. The movie takes place on a Martian research base in the year 2040. A scientist discovers definitive proof of life on Mars. Unfortunately, an accident occurs, and the scientists on the planet become infected with some sort of bacteria that's transforming them into something not human. The movie stars Liev Schreiber as Vincent Campbell. He was offered the role after it was declined by Paul Walker and Philip Seymour Hoffman. The director spoke about how he was a huge fan of the movie Alien and wanted this to be a paranoid thriller in the vein of that classic film. That said, you can see the base does look a lot like the interior of the Nostromo. The film premiered at the Cannes Film Festival in May of 2013. It later had a small theatrical run in the US in December of 2013. The movie was picked up by Magnolia, who released it on Blu-ray in early 2014. Critics were fairly lukewarm on the film, some calling it Red Planet of the Dead. I thought it was a unique film, and it was nice to see a sort of zombie movie taking place on another planet. At least it's not moon spiders. The movie's available for streaming on Tubi, Hoopla, and Plex. It's not on YouTube. Mars. Mars is a 1997 direct-to-video action film from director John Hess. It stars Olivier Gruner as the hero with one of the coolest names ever, Caution Templar, a name I used in a Hell on Earth campaign. In the movie, Mars has been terraformed, and all sorts of people live there, but it's mostly of the evil criminal variety. Templar's a badass who goes to Mars in search of his lost brother. The movie is essentially a loose remake of Total Recall, on about 1/10 the budget. Does that mean it's bad? No, it's not exactly the same thing. There's enough differences to keep it from going straight into rip-off territory. You can occasionally see when they borrowed from Total Recall, though. Olivier Gruner is one of my favorite underappreciated action stars of the 90s, and he kicks all sorts of ass here. I've loved him ever since Nemesis, and it's an absolute shame that he never took off in the US. If he hit a few years earlier, he could have been in that wave of action heroes of the 80s and 90s. In my humble opinion, he should be listed with the likes of Jean-Claude Van Damme and Steven Seagal. A movie with him and Mark Dacascos would have been amazing. The movie was released on DVD, but it's out of print. It's currently streaming on Tubi, and aside from the trailer, it's not on YouTube. Terraformars. Terraformars is a 2016 sci-fi action film from director Takashi Miike. The movie's a live-action adaptation of the popular manga from 2011. There was an anime adaptation in 2014 that lasted for 2 seasons. The movie's like a lot of movies on here. It starts with the terraforming of Mars gone wrong. Humans begin seeding the planet with moss to absorb sunlight and help create an atmosphere. Due to their ability to thrive and repopulate in horrible conditions, they leave cockroaches to help spread the moss. 500 years later, a team of workers are sent to essentially fumigate the planet and kill the roaches. The problem is, the roaches have evolved quickly over the past 500 years and are now giant sentient killing machines. And this movie is nightmare fuel. I don't like bugs, especially roaches, so seeing giant ones with razor-sharp blades and super speed, I nope the hell out of there. What they do to combat the roaches reminds me that we need a live-action Sectars movie. If you know Miike, the director of films like Audition, Ezo, and Ichi the Killer, you might expect this film to be a little insane. While there are some crazy moments in the movie, for Miike it ends up being one of his more accessible ones. It's still bizarre, but it's much less bizarre than something like the Great Yokai War. The movie was released on DVD and Blu-ray. Both the movie and the anime are available for streaming on Tubi. Aside from a bunch of clips, it's not on YouTube. Beyond the manga and the movie, there was a series of novels and a video game for the 3DS. Well, there's some films from Mars. Can you believe if you combine the budgets of all of these, they still don't cost as much as the mega flop Mars Needs Moms? Anyway, I'll see you next time. Stay tuned.